So, I heard y'all want a FEMBOY sauce. Now, the reason I've been putting this one off for a while is because I didn't know how to find one, but then realized on a certain subreddit, oh shit, that's a tag. And I scraped together a group of 5 sauces from that tag and asked my friend to pick a number, and she picked this one we're reviewing today. So without further ado, let's talk 435326, called Autumn Rain Becomes Sparse. It's from the artist Seto Ryoka, who looks like they've done a bunch of FEMBOY sauces. And what else do you want me to say about it? So let's just get right into it. The zone starts out with a shot of a live music place. There's then a shot of the main guy walking, thinking about his expenses and how he wants to let this Shion person live somewhere with lots of space and take them on a trip too. It then cuts to a shot of the rainy city and someone recognizing the main guy, Fumi. It's this girl, Shion, who, spoiler alert, isn't a girl, and tells him good work out there. Also, just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to be using they them pronouns for Shion just because I realized during my Yuri sauce videos that it's very confusing to know who I'm talking about when using the same pronouns for both characters. But anyway, Fumi's surprised to see them and asks if they had work today. Shion says they just got off work and was able to listen to his band play a bit and compliments them. Fumi's bandmates walk off talking about plans, and he says that he'll buy Shion an umbrella to get to the station, to which they say that the two are going to share one. They're still talking about the performance, and it cuts to them talking about a different topic. He's been busy lately and they're wondering if things are going well. He says yeah and asks if work at that cram school is going well. They say it's good, and the two are just kind of walking in silence until he tries to bring up something but backs down. Though Shion asks if he's tired from playing today, and he says that he did play a lot, so kind of. But he asks if they're okay because they got all wet and it's cold, and he gives them his coat, with them thinking that's what he meant. And they do the unforgivable act of hand-holding. And he says he's got plenty of energy left and they should go home now. And they just immediately do it. It cuts to later and Fumi's working on a song, and Shion walks in with some coffee for him. There's some small talk with Fumi stressing about the song, and Shion asks if he wants to rest for a bit and that they'll be there for him. Fumi just straight up says no, though in a pretty harsh way, saying that our dinner plans rely on him finishing that song. But he immediately backtracks, saying he was thinking of them, but immediately gets a work call. Shion recognizes that and takes their leave, and Fumi's left there with his thoughts. He drinks the coffee they made and says that being tired was no excuse for saying that and will apologize tomorrow. So he gets in bed with Shion, thinking old him would be surprised to see Shion's sleeping face. There's a flashback to junior high where we learn that Shion was the only one who supported him, and he was surprised when they confessed to him on graduation day. But while he was still searching for words, Shion looked like they were about to cry, and he hugged them, not only in flashback but in present time too, though he realizes what he did and apologizes for waking them. They say they were already up though, and it shows the nameplate on the door, and Shion begins to straddle his leg, and Fumi begins to apologize for today, to which Shion adds that he's been touring, so they haven't gotten a lot of time together, and for literally no reason they just start doing it. They finish up and it cuts to the clock almost hitting midnight, and Shion rushes out of bed to get something from the fridge because today was his birthday, which he forgot about, and Shion gets a bit angry when he tells him that they didn't need to get one that seemed so expensive, though they dig in and Shion tells him the reason that they fell in love. It's back when they wanted to become a writer, and he's the only one who encouraged them. And it cuts to another flashback. There's a conversation happening that Fumi happens to overhear, and he apologizes for being too loud, but Shion tells them that they think he has a great voice, to which they introduce themselves and he gives them a ticket to his gig. Shion is trying to pay him and he's refusing, then compromises, saying that if he can read what they're writing, then that's the payment. They get all flustered and he's curious about the writing, and that's how the two's friendship started, and it cuts to them talking about their future plans. Shion wants to be a writer, which Fumi encourages, and Fumi wants to be in a band, which Shion encourages. And it cuts back to present time, where he remembers that's how it all started. But there's one more special thing today, as Shion reveals that they kept up with writing. And today, one of their stories won an award, and they're making it into a novel. They bought the cake with the money they made from the novel, which he says they should have told him sooner. Shion goes on saying they're gonna submit more stories and have them published, and some time passes. But it shows Shion saying that Fumi won't be the only one working hard, and to not push himself too hard all alone. He then apologizes for giving it 110% since he was the only one living his dream. But all that made was less time for them to see each other, and he even took out some of his frustrations on them. But Shion says that's not true, and that he always did his best for them, because they do the same. Shion grabs his arm, saying let's do our best together, as they realize the rain's letting up, and the TV forecast says tomorrow will have clear autumn skies. Fumi asks if they want to go out together tomorrow, which they agree, and he asks if they're okay with with choosing a ring, and once they put it on their fingers, that there's no way they'll forget the two of them make that pair. Shion agrees immediately, and Fumi asks if they tried to kiss him earlier, and they kiss. And there's some more small talk about the two's dreams and the phone call he got earlier, and the doujin ends. Overall, I rate this an 11 out of 10. I honestly didn't expect it to be as good as it was, and it was kind of surprising. The story was fantastic, and I love how it didn't just immediately end after them doing it, and there was a bit of like after story and all that, and the art style was just absolutely amazing. I recommend you check it out for yourselves as always. That's all I got. I'll see you in the next one.
Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul. These hentai babes make me drool. Hatsune Miku is great. She makes me masturbate. Fairy tale.